Helps to turn the microphone on, folks. My goodness. I did that earlier today, too. Or earlier in the week, rather, while I was doing contemporary. Hi, everybody. I see Midget B's in the chat. I've got Ron Helton over there as well. Thanks for checking us out, everybody. You can thank Steven Ignoramus for this great music that we've got playing here. I was always excited for the track, and he said I could use it. I'll crank it back just a little bit here. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. How we doing, Ron, with the stickers as always? Anyway, my name is Jay Edgar, and we're going to play some video games tonight. We're not going to talk news because there's too much stupid shit that happened here. We'll save that for contemporary in the morning, and that'll be... I've been averaging about 8 this week because of the time change here. I'm trying to get better about that. And it might be about that time tomorrow, because I'm going to be up until midnight my time as well. So we'll talk the news tomorrow. There's going to be a bunch of shit here, but we're going to play some video games tonight. This is streaming live to Twitch, DLive, YouTube, Periscope, and we are back on Facebook again. So fuck you, Zuck, is all I have to say about that. But where we last left off, over in New Vegas, we were just finishing up the Old World Blues DLC. You'll have to excuse me for just a moment here. I got a little bit of phlegm going on right before I started in. I sucked it in. I sound like fucking patient zero for coronavirus right now. Anyway, this is Ed's World Gaming. We are live everywhere that you can get your podcast, and we will be on demand on YouTube again. Where we last left off, we were just finishing up Old World Blues. I think we have one more character interaction left, and then we're going to go straight on over into Dead Money. So without further ado, I think it's time for us to kill this great synth track from Mr. One Steven Ignoramus and get into the game. Oops, wrong screen. The hell is my game stream? There it is. See, I never had a problem with ammo in Old World Blues, but I definitely will have it in Dead Money. I can tell you that. Alright, let's get the monitors up here so we can see how bad we're sucking down on the processor here. And the RAM. The RAM is usually not a problem. It's the processor that's the problem. I'll get the chat up here, get the processors, and here we go. I always get nervous that I'm going to have to stop stream and reload because it takes forever. For the screen to catch up over there. There it goes. Alright, I think it's time for us to get started. Might have to go sleep scrub before we do this. I can't remember if I did this last week or not when we left off. But I do want to take a little bit more money out of the sink if I can. I broke the Tesla cannon too, by the way. And that is lame. I guess first thing we're gonna do is go and load some of this shit.
Got any more sweet, innocent little kitchen appliances for me?
You psychopathic prick.
Well, well. What have we got here? Another innocent little toaster. Come here. I won't hurt you. Ha! Gotcha! Oh
Ha!
yes,
Gotcha!
the sweet smell of spilled electric guts. The sparking diodes. I fucking live for this!
Oh, please, please tell me you brought me some coffee cups. Oh, sweet, sweet fulfillment. I'll break these down for you just as fast as I can.
Oh, I got clipboards too. And other seditious materials. Energy weapons skill book.
Greetings, citizen. Ready to receive seditious materials.
I ran into ammo problems because I wasn't good with energy weapons and enemies are bullet sponges. Yeah, I actually have a pretty decent energy weapon stat, so I'm not worried about that.
Fantastic, citizen. Just input your quantity of seditious material on my interface, and in no time at all, I'll have you a beautiful, clean book. Won't that keep you happy and docile, citizen?
I don't know if I have any books, though.
The toaster.
And I might have screwed myself with the energy weapons book because I might have fucked up and not allowed myself to be able to get down through the, Oops. I think that is an indication that I haven't sleep scrubbed
Might I
yet.
be of service, sir? Very good, sir.
Yeah, okay, this thing's out of cash, and I want to sell off this monstrosity of a canine gun because I don't do well with big guns. I never have. So let's go back down to the village. Put it in the storage cabinet. No, I'm gonna ditch it for caps, I think. Because we're almost done, and then I'm gonna want to take it with me. And I could use the caps more. I know, this is the boring part. I might shave. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I know John goes a little bit crazy when I shave because he doesn't know what to think about it. I am sleep scrubbing the commissary so I can so he resets on bottle caps. Because he's out of currency currently. Well, he's not out of currency, but he's low enough that I can't sell anything to him. And he'll reset if you spend 3 days outside of the sink. 3 in-game days outside of the sink. And since I haven't done that because I've been gathering up too much crap, oh, and that one's got a proton axe too. We want that. Enemies are bullet sponges. Fact check true. Yeah, every 3 days you spend outside of the sink. 3 24-hour periods in game. The commissary will reset, but it won't do it. Like if you sleep in the bed in the commissary, it won't do it. And just for this time only, I'm actually going to take the Wonder Glue. Holy shit! I didn't know that was there. The ashtray, no, but we will take the Wonder Glue. Well, that was fun. Got a chance to burn up some of that 357 that I have just laying around here. But now I'm over encumbered, which is pretty common in this game. I only loot trash that I can use in the sink, and then because I'm going to get Wonder Glue back from the idiot, I'll turn around and sell that back to the well, because I'm going to have Wonder Glue already. I'm just going to grab that one and be done with it. We'll wait on the Saturnite Fist, because those will get increased back to optimal condition when we turn them superheated, and we'll get more caps for them.
Might I be of service, sir? Very.
And then look at that. His caps are reset, and he's got a full complement of ammo again. But yes, if you sleep in this bed, this one here, it doesn't count.
Want to push my buttons?
Yes, miss. Let's get the rest of this stupid
Got
crap.
any more sweet, innocent little kitchen appliances for me? Well, oh. Got any more sweet? What? Oh. Got any more sweet? Well, oh yes.
And by the way, cameras and irons also count as stuff that that this thing can break down. And they give you all kinds of unique stuff too.
Oh, please, please tell me you brought me some coffee.
Tom Hanks and his wife Rita test positive for coronavirus. Here's what I think about Tom Hanks testing positive for coronavirus.
Oh,
This little shit's gonna give me free ammo.
oh, please, please.
See, I got Wonder Glue, just like I said I was going to. The lives of celebrities mean next to goddamn absolutely nothing to me at this point.
Sir is looking exceptionally... sharp today.
Turn the
Sir,
scrap metal
the compliment.
into nails. Before I do that, we're going to do one more thing here. That's science skill. What is my science? I think my science is maxed right now. Yep, my science is maxed right now. I'm not going to get enough caps to repair that either, unfortunately. Which is uber gay.
Might I be of service, sir? Very...
So we'll get rid of that. I'm going to hold on to that. As much as I don't want to. Well, I do. Because it's a lot of weight. And we can use that weight for other stuff. R-rated is on. We can use that weight for other stuff. And it's really not that good of a weapon, to be completely honest. So, bye-bye. Keep the sonic emitter. Get rid of this shit. Anything else I don't want? No. Well, I could have got one more seditious material for the frack stick. Oh, a couple, I guess. But this guy is going to have some neat stuff here. Look at all those Saturnite fists I sold off over the course of this. I want those. I changed my mind because that will help me get the Tesla cannon up, even though I don't need it anymore on this. But yeah, I definitely want those. But this primer and powder packs. Because we can take those right over to the ammo station and use up some of these cartridges and cases that we have. And then, of course, before we leave out of here, we're going to clean him out of good ammo. Because he restocks on ammo when we do the sleep scrub too. And it's not hardcore, so it doesn't weigh anything. Leave the grenades for now. I'll leave the 5 for now. I could make weapon repair kits, I guess. But for the most part, I'm not doing a survival character with this one, so. You're making me want to play now that I know this about the game. Yeah, because I was thinking the same thing. I was wondering what the hell I was going to do with the rest of with the rest of all the stuff I was gathering. There was no way I was going to be able to carry it back to the Mojave, but I looked it up one day and yeah, I figured it out. Damn it. Well, that was a waste. Whatever. Not like I needed the caps anyway. Well, that was quick. I'm going to play now. I just finished OWB, so I don't want too many spoils. Yeah, because we are pretty much leaving right from here and going to the ending as soon as I go nap. And I'm going to check the plants one more time too to see how many more stim packs I can pull up.
Couldn't stay away, could you? Yeah, I knew you'd be back. hello. I
Not that scalpel. The fish scalpel.
Alright, let's finish this DLC out. It is time. But first, we'll crash to desktop. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of that too as long as we're out here. Wouldn't be Old World Blues without a little bit of a little bit of crash to desktop. Not even gonna dick with the scorpions. Holy shit, loot.
I'm imagining all sorts of imaginary.
Kinda glad I sleep scrubbed. Because I legitimately did not know that any of this was here. I can't believe I'm over encumbered again. This is ridiculous.
I'm imagining all sorts of imaginary numbers right
Well, I guess we are taking out the scorpions. Well, fuck. God damn it. I didn't realize that old Mobius was that well stocked. Well, I got another level, I guess.
Might I be of service, sir?
You might.
Very.
Not only did he have a proton axe, he'd a full proton axe. Let's just see what it's going to take
Might
to
I be of service, sir?
repair the Tesla cannon.
Very
I
good,
think
sir.
it's going to be out of my reach, but 27,000. We're not going to get there.
Got any more Oh.
Oh, please, please!
Greetings, citizen. What?
What? One time, the biological research station told me he dropped. Dropped a mug down his throat.
I'm going to stash that for now.
Processing chute. When I reached it,
Might I be of service? Very.
Ow. That was dumb. I does dumb things.
I'm running out of floor space for my calculations. I'm imagining all sorts of imaginary numbers right now. electrons attached to the neutron attached to the meson.
Yeah, the first time I played this game, I did not explore this area, and I should have. Kind of glad right now.
I do so love integers.
That we didn't try and finish this the other night, because I would have missed so much more.
I do so love integers.
That is everything. And you know what? I'm going to do one more big sell-off before we have the conversation. Because why not?
To leave your dome, think tank, and you will be punished by the pincered might of my Robo-Scorpion arm.
Ow, you jerk. Is that all of them? That is all of them.
Oh, please, please! Oh, please, please! Oh,
Greetings, citizen. Greetings, citizen. Won't that...
Oh, wait, I didn't screw myself. I can still
Got
do
any
this.
more sweet, innocent... Oh, yes.
Might I be of service? Very.
I have to sleep scrub again. I actually have to do it one more time. Although at only 3 pounds, I could take that with me, I guess.
Might I be of service, sir?
I do have to sleep scrub again.
Sir is looking accept. Might I be of service, sir? Exceptionally sharp today, if sir will permit the compliment.
Let's finish her out. I can't believe I had another hour left in this game. But apparently I did. And we left this place pretty clean, I must say. Alright, the stupid ass lobotomites haven't respawned. Let's actually use the book that I made sure I got. Up the energy weapon stat a little bit more. Let's get rid of some of the rest of this. Might as well take those. Definitely take some of those. Let's see, that is gone. I still owe the dude money. Huh, look at that. Not for long. How many radiation drugs that I should have been taking the last couple times? You do. How fucking dumb was it that I didn't take them while I had a chance? All this ammo. All of it. And Midget was having such a problem because he didn't know how to get his hands on it. I'm glad I could help out Midget B today. He's a good guy. What am I missing for that? Oh, I don't have enough repair. That's what I'm missing for that. I wonder if I'm actually ever going to use all the rest of that lead. I'm going to try. I'm actually going to try and I don't know. I'm going to try and do enough reloading through the rest of the game to try and use all that up, but man. Alright, I want to check a couple other things here. I want to see if
Got
you...
any more sweet?
No, you cannot take vacuum cleaners.
Might I be of service, sir? Very good.
Well, since we spent 3 days out.
While you were out, I spent 6 hours trying to reach a coffee cup on my shelf. When I finally got it down, I was so happy. I cried. I hate my life.
Jose
I'm so good.
Jalapeno
I
on a
see you
steak.
just by looking. Well, hello. At you.
Yeah, we are all set for a confrontation that we're not going to get. But it's nice. It is. I mean, we are insanely overpowered for the rest of the game at this point, too, so...
Huh? Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. A little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Is that better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. The flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat?
Thanks?
I love mentats. Delicious and smarty. I have all sorts of amazingly science-erific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
You aren't exactly what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
I need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
I was curious about some things.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Or maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
Ah! assignment sheet. Get back here.
I'm having the most peculiar feeling of deja vu right now. That's French for, deja vu, I believe. Have we met before?
I can't fix your monitor, but if you're getting ghost reception, I can fix that. John, excuse me. John is here. How we doing, John?
The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon mentats break.
I don't have coronavirus. It is the next county over, though, so. Alright. We are in the last dialogue option for Old World Blues here, but yeah. It's fun. I just changed how Midget B sees this entire DLC. Now he's off playing it because
Anomaly?
he learned something.
You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Why is that a problem?
I'm not sure, except that I'm sure there's a very good reason for it. I have very good reasons for almost everything I do. Even if I forget them occasionally. Although I feel this one is especially important. Oh, well.
I was curious about some things.
I find things curious as well. Go on.
Can you tell me about your Roboscorpions?
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought, but they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts.
I was curious about some things.
Yes, this is getting interesting. You are just filled with these little slices of curiosity, aren't you?
You don't seem aggressive. Why broadcast threats to the think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, Served its purpose.
He's a druggie. Wait, sounds like you built the Robo-Scorpions, issued threats to keep the think tank occupied?
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Is some reason for it? Ethics or, conscience? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the reasons better than I do.
Everything you've told me doesn't add up. Your plan? Even your name, Mobius.
Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I, although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
You reprogrammed their names as part of recursion loop. What, to trap their processors?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
Why did you trap them?
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan 9s in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. They're probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here, or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in case the 7s fail.
Klein, Mobius. O is a circle, 8's an infinity symbol. They're all loops. I get it.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O,
Neat.
which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quite professional.
Minor detail, but a snake devouring its own tail is Ouroboros, not Ouroboros.
Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do.
If you lobotomize the think tank, why terrorize them?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, Then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria finally able to see its host.
But there must have been other signs of a larger world.
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts. I would spell it out for you, but when I start spelling, I lose track of the letters. Little symbols run around everywhere. Annoying. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the autodoc in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem. And the brain extraction technology for once worked.
Bullet
That gave the
headitis.
think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
So, if I don't get my brain back in my head, I can't leave ever. Whoops, sorry.
Oh no. I doubt your brain would be so unreasonable. It already knows the trick of it, you see. Doesn't need to be in a host body at all. If you become friends or exist in an uneasy truce with weapons aimed at each other, it would unlock the fence for you. Well, once the think tank was dealt with, of course. Your brain is a responsible sort. Doesn't want mad scientists running around everywhere.
Klein said they had the idea to get the 3 technologies after your broadcast. Coincidence?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth. My threat broadcast is designed
Herbal
to
tea.
instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
What is the purpose of the technologies?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
Was there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcast?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
But the think tank downloaded the schematics, not the items. They can rebuild them.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
It's time for me to go. Goodbye.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
Alright.
Electrons attached to the neutron.
Let's get my brain and get the fuck out of here.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Are you my brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
Why are you such a dick?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
Of course you're responsible. You're my brain.
I most certainly am not. I'm the seat of all reason and logic in our little partnership. All those feelings that motivate you, that sense of righteousness and that rush you get when you help someone, do you know where those come from? Glands. They come from glands. Free of the tyranny of your ape-like and primitive endocrine system, I can see how foolish your motives are.
Fuck you and your speech check, or medicine check. Oh, come on, that stuff's run.
Fun? Fun? Is tetanus fun? Is rickets? What about sepsis, huh? Enjoy that, do we? The things you do with our body are suicidally dangerous, and if you could silence your glandular impulses, you would hear me screaming at you!
Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get back in my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
But what about the good things? What about a cool breeze on your cheek? The smell of food? Love?
Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
Isn't it just as true that you only feel this way because you're lacking these hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
So we're at an impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think the way you think.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
I think we have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
So, what do you say, Brain? Join me for some more wild adventures?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Why? They promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
You're a part of me. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
If the think tank won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them. Let's go.
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Alright, John, Ron, if you guys are both in there, we gotta make a choice here, and I'll let you guys pick. Do I keep the robotic heart and spine, or do I get my old ones back? I'll give you until I get across the big mountain, which I'm gonna have to go fuck up some scorpions again. So you've got a little bit of time to decide. Ron, if you're still in there, you got any input? I thought they respawned. Oh well. Yeah, we're all set. Oh, they are waiting too.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain, and you and I are going to settle some things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over. There are some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
You think I'm the lobotomite? No, for my skull houses the brain of Mobius.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Nothing is impossible for science. Mesons, lasers, atoms, brainwaves, all are at my command.
You speak the truth. And the decibel variation in your voice, it is Mobius. How dare you breach the think tank? And what do you want here?
I offer a deal. Stay here, stay put, and I'll let you live.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
I will permit you to do this, for me.
Partner with you, my foe, my rival, my foremost critic? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The Sync Central Intelligence Unit was impressed by the amount of exploration the courier had undertaken. Facilities believed lost, destroyed, or ones that had simply gotten up and walked to new locations had been rediscovered by its intrepid new master. Internally, the artificial personality debated as to whether it preferred the old management to the new, and concluded that the courier's thorough approach to research and investigation was admirable and worthy of its respect.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The Sync atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The biological research station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours.
Smooth contours.
The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other sink personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names once too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the
I know, I
courier's
love
brain
the ending of
was
this.
more
I love the
clever than
writing.
most.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, old world blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
That's some foreshadowing right there. You've lost the brainless perk. You've gained the big-brained perk. Your brain's back in your body, but some of the advanced technologies remain. Your head still cannot be crippled, but you are only 10% more resistant to addictions now. But Jessica doesn't do drugs, so... JJGSH. Welcome! Yeah, you just caught the very end there. Actually, when you typed, it was probably still going on. Surprisingly, your damage threshold has improved by 10%, minimum +1 DT. You've acquired the Big Mountain Transportal Ponder. It's capable of transporting you, and you alone, between the Mojave Wasteland and the Big MT. To return to the Mojave, or go back to the Big MT from the Mojave, simply equip the Transportal Ponder as you would any weapon, pull the trigger, and away you'll go. Note that it won't work in interiors or in combat situations, and is totally incapable of harming your enemies. Alright. So John voted, and yep, we're going to keep the robotic spine, and we're going to keep the robotic heart. And everything else is there and ready to go.
Might I be safe in the assumption that matters with the think tank have been satisfactorily concluded vis-a-vis your residence in this domicile?
I don't need anything else. So if I remember correctly, I do... What are those antennae? I don't know. I'm not going to screw around and figure out though. If I remember correctly... we come here. I am going to stash that Tesla cannon for right now. I'm going to take this instead. So we'll head back to Prim. But we are also going to mark Sierra Madre Grand Opening, which means we're going to have to go over there. We are going to have to do some travel to get there. But we are not negative with the Legion just yet, so it should be pretty safe. Because the Legion holds Nelson right now. So we're not negative with them, so we should be able to get in pretty much no problem. Other than taking out a few geckos as we go. But I'm going to drop... Before I do that, I am definitely going to go and... Where the fuck is it? Not the outpost. Where's all my stuff? The hell's Prim? It's been so long since I've been on the main map, I don't remember where Prim is. Alright. Oh, that's right, I don't have it stashed here. That's why I can't find it. Because I'm not using this as a player home this time. My player home is in Good Springs. Good Springs. I don't know why I've got a weapon drawn. I'm gonna stash that. And that. Since I figured out that that carries weight and I didn't realize that. And from there, we're gonna go to the next place. Actually, that might be easier. We'll have to take some Cazadors along the way, but that actually might be quite a bit easier. No, we're gonna go through there. But I also have Animal Friend, which is kind of neat, because now these fucksticks won't do anything to me. So at this point, we actually kind of can just scum through. I didn't realize that. I mean, other than the radiation, of course, but... Yeah, pretty much with the exception of random wildlife, we're not going to run across anything between the two places. Actually, I think John made the right decision here, too. Now that I remember some of the crap that we had to go through. Oops.
Whoa, whoa, careful.
Wrong button.
Hold up there. This area is locked down by the NCR military until we can dislodge some Legion snakes from Nelson.
Name's Jessica.
Oh, heck. I've heard of you. Supposed to be a regular hero or something, ain't that right? But maybe you're a little too reputable to get involved in some dirty work for the Republic.
Are you interested in cracking jokes or getting something done?
Well, I'll be damned. Looks like you've got some dirt in you after all. If you had a few dozen doses of Psycho on you, maybe we could pep those weepy troopers into charging down into Nelson and taking back the camp. But since that's not likely, you could help me take out the Legion's trooper hostages.
Don't you have the authority to command the troopers to go into the camp?
I'm a ranger. They're troopers. Different branches. I don't have authority over them even though they're as green as a super mutant's backside. Besides, they'd probably start crying as soon as they saw the hostages get so much as a bruise. Nope, they don't got the stomach for it.
Why take out the hostages?
The troopers won't go down into camp with their comrades at risk. Dirty game the Legion likes to roll out whenever they get a chance. Problem is, Ranger Milo doesn't want to play. If we take out the hostages, they've got squat for leverage.
Why don't you try to rescue them?
Back at Ranger School, they taught us not to run headlong into a battle when you're outnumbered 10 to 1. You want to go down there and try to haul those crippled boys off those poles? You're dumber than you look.
Right now, I don't think I can help you.
That's a shame. Well, let me know if you change your mind, or those Legion sons of bitches will be holed up in Nelson for weeks.
Goodbye.
Hey, hold on. Just so you know, if you go down into that camp, one of two things is gonna happen. Either that little head of yours is gonna sail into the Colorado courtesy of a Legion machete, or they're gonna try to make friends with you. And if I find out you're friends with the Legion, I'll put a lump of lead through your skull as soon as you pop it back up over the ridge. Are we clear?
Understood.
Much obliged.
The Legion will pay for Nelson.
Alright, so I might have to find a way around. I've never run into that dialogue before, so... I guess let's try this instead. So once again, Animal Friend is going to help us here, but Cazadors are considered to be abominations. So we are going to have to deal with them. I actually thought Night Stalkers were abominations too, but I guess not, because they are affected by Animal Friend. But yes, going into Dead Money with absolutely no armor and the kind of shit that they have, having the ability to keep from getting crippled, the Spineless perk and the Heartless perk are going to be very, very helpful. There are the Cazadors. remember that battle being a lot worse. We might be overpowered. Nothing in there. More scrap metal though. Do ourselves a couple of auto injects. Alright, yeah, we'll sneak in between Forlorn Hope and Nelson and won't trigger that other dialogue option. Because I don't want to do that until later. Oh, fire geckos, that's right. So, geckos and golden geckos are affected by Animal Friend, and they won't attack you. Fire geckos are abominations. And they will fuck you up. Alright, so that is to Nelson. I wonder what Midget's doing right now. It was so nice that he came by and hung out for a little bit until he realized that he actually can beat Old World Blues and restock the commissary. He was so amazed when he figured that out. How much further do I have to go? This isn't the big empty anymore. So we actually have to do some walking. I'll take that. He might be playing Old World Blues. He might not be sleeping. He was pretty amazed by the discovery. That's a dead person. With a bunch of stuff. We'll use that later. Now, under a normal game, we would be hearing a radio right now and be following the radio to get in here. Dead Money takes you to an extremely dangerous area of the Mojave Wasteland. A one-way journey until your business at the Sierra Madre is finished. So, take the surprise right out of it. In normal mode, you'll encounter new traps, enemies, and new companions whose lives are tied to yours. In hardcore mode, you'll be fighting the environment as well, a toxic city that erodes health over time. Companions are more vulnerable, and so are you. Dead money is recommended for experienced couriers, level 20+. If up to the challenge, continue on. The Sierra Madre grand opening awaits and has been for 200 years. Seek out the radio signal in the bunker. Collapsed bunker. I am dreading how OP everything is going to be in here compared to what it was the last time I played, because I mean I'm going to be more OP, but I was 5 levels lower when I started out the last time. And I know they scale. This isn't going to do a shitload of a lot for us right now. As we sit anyway. Because anything we do in here right now is just going to be ultimately lost. Since they did give away the ending.
You've heard of the Sierra Madre Casino. We all have. The legend, the curses, foolishness about it lying in the middle of the city of the dead, buried beneath a blood-red cloud. A bright, shining monument luring treasure hunters to their doom. The world's most famous stars and entertainers were invited to its grand opening. An invitation was a sign of exclusiveness. The opening was supposed to symbolize a road to a brighter future, not just for the world, but for all who came to its doors. A chance for anyone to begin again. Except the Sierra Madre never opened. The war froze it in time, like a big flashbulb going off. The grand opening. One big ending of humanity. It's still out there, in the wastes, preserved, just waiting for someone to crack it open. But getting to it, that's not the hard part. It's letting go.
Get ready for 20 hours of pain in my ass.
Are you listening? Good. From now on, when I talk, listen and follow my instructions. Play stupid, play clever. Make the mistake of saying no. That collar on your neck will go off and take your head with it.
Collar? What are you talking about?
It's like that Pip Boy on your wrist, except filled with explosives. A little radio of the old world. Just needed some tuning. Do what I say, and the collar will go off. Refuse, try and run, disobey me, I'll kill you and find someone else. There's no escape from here until I let you go. The sooner you accept your situation, the better.
What do you want?
That structure you see above the fountain, the Sierra Madre Casino. You need to break inside. Heist. Too many years in the making. But to get inside, avoid its traps, you'll need to gather a team. As I found, one cannot do it alone.
So I need others to pull off this heist? Who?
Around the villa are 3 other callers like yours. Caller 8, 12, and 14. Find all 3 and get them here to the fountain. Then we'll talk more. And should you get any ideas about killing each other and taking the treasure of the Sierra Madre for yourself, a warning. All your callers are linked. One of you dies, you all die. If that's what it takes to make you cooperate, so be it.
Why would you do that?
Because in some respects, breaking into the Sierra Madre is easier than breaking human instinct. Greed. The villa is filled with corpses. Some killed by the dangers here, some by me. Others turned on each other. Once they realized the Sierra Madre could be theirs, they cared nothing for their freedom, their survival, or each other.
Are they all dead?
The ones brought here live on only in what they've left behind. Their marks, graffiti on the walls, and victims they've killed. Some tried to help, left supplies and healing for others who came. Their reward? They were tracked down, killed by others with baser instincts. Some of these murderers went as far as to leave traps behind them, turning markers for help into death traps for anyone following them. It killed some of them when they forgot where the traps were, or when they desperately needed the assistance they had cut others off from.
How many of these victims did you bring here?
Too many. This place is dangerous. And its quarantine measures, its hazards, have claimed many failures upon failures. Do you think I wanted to place collars on you to ensure compliance? No. If robots could have done this, I would have sent them. The Sierra Madre is a complicated lock. Cracking it open requires human hands.
Where's my gear?
The Sierra Madre has many defenses, means of screening guests for illicit or dangerous items. Your arrival here, weaponless, was not my intention. The casino, this villa, it takes anything with even a trace of radioactivity, traces of unknown substances, and returns it home, the bunker. The process is automated, and the casino itself has other similar services. I was unable to find a workaround except to send others in as tools. Still, I have not left you defenseless. And the Sierra Madre's security, in some respects, can help you if you are resourceful enough.
What do you mean?
This place is well preserved. Few who came here ever returned. All the treasures of the old world lie scattered about, virtually untouched. Search, hunt, craft what you can from what you find. The trash of the pre-war era can keep you alive. Food, knives, more. Use them. Even the villa's toxins and the residue it leaves behind can be shaped into tools and weapons. Gather it as well. Also, there is one more thing in your possession. A rifle that will keep you alive. As surely as the caller will.
What is this rifle?
It is a hollow rifle, a weapon I constructed when I arrived. I have since made superior models and modifications. For now, that tool will have to do until you find other weapons, and I suggest you do. The hollow rifle's ammo is limited.
Shadow Gorilla, welcome
Still,
on in.
should serve
We're
well
just doing
enough.
some dead money.
I fashioned it from the holograms of the villa and used it against the villa's living inhabitants.
The inhabitants, there's people alive here?
Yes, the inhabitants. Avoid them if you can. They are difficult to kill. Whatever has created them, bullets, explosions, energy, it can make them inert for a time, then they seem to crawl back up, restored. Perhaps it's the cloud. Perhaps something in their physiology.
What is the cloud?
The cloud is what blankets the sky here. You may smell it in the air, copper and sulfur. Burns the lungs and seeps into the skin. As for its origins, I'm not certain. Pre-war industrial pollutants. Something in the Sierra Madre structure. It is unique across the
It's definitely a DLC, that's for sure.
It has kept this place
It's a bit of a
preserved
pain.
since the Great War.
I've played it once. Will exposure kill me?
The air here is lethal only if you enter concentrated pockets of the cloud. Too long inside one, you'll die, so be careful where you step. I've seen some survive concentration of the cloud for short periods of time, if healthy enough. Others were too weak. Rebreathers, chemical suits, there is no protection against it. It decays all it touches. I found fighting it useless.
Is there any place safe to rest?
Anywhere sheltered from the cloud. Inside buildings, tunnels. Any place not exposed to the outside air. Anything the cloud has touched has preserved it one way or another. But only the holograms in the villa truly remain.
What holograms are you talking about?
Ghosts. They fill the villa. More in the casino. Much more. They carry out the functions the dead once did. They cannot be harmed. They only perform the same rote tasks until their power dies. They are of no consequence, except for the security holograms, the ones with the silhouettes of the armored Sierra Madre guards.
Why?
Most holograms perform specific functions. The security holograms, ever since the bombs fell, now perform their function. They will kill anyone they detect. They are immune to guns, weapons, EMPs, even energy weapons. Still, they have limitations. Their design limits their field of view, enough to avoid detection. Each has an emitter. Destroy or disable it, and they cease to be a threat. Still, at least they still work as intended. Other technology here is more of a threat to you. Notably, the villa's radios and speakers.
Radios and speakers?
Yes, music was intended to be broadcast all over the villa. Over time, however, the radio signal has decayed and emits a different frequency.
There's a Brotherhood of
Speakers
Steel
and
sticker
radios
on the back of my
interfere with
truck.
the bomb caller frequency and can trigger the detonators prematurely.
Enclave.
It is an unfortunate side effect, one
No.
I did not anticipate.
I don't like the
I
U.S.
was
federal
unable to
government now.
calibrate
I
the
don't like
calls
it
to
jacked
block
up
the signals.
on
So,
post-war
you'll have to make do.
steroids. You see that flag right there, Shadow? That does not mesh well with the Enclave. Doesn't really mesh well with the Brotherhood either, but it definitely does not mesh well with the Enclave. Radios and speakers can set off my collar?
Yes, but not immediately. You'll hear a beep from your collar's detonator. When you do, step back, scan the area, and find the signal source. There are damaged speakers and shielded ones. The damaged ones you can destroy at range. Don't get close. You can't switch them off like a radio. The damaged speakers are sparking, hard to miss. The casings are resistant to vandalism. Punching or hitting them will not destroy them.
So how do I destroy the radios and speakers then?
Gunshots, energy blasts, even spears thrown with great force can puncture their exterior. Shielded speakers can't be destroyed at all. You'll need to avoid them or switch them off via a terminal. I'll leave the method up to you.
I had other questions.
I am short on patience, and you are short on time.
Fuck you. What is this place?
Unfamiliar with the legend of the Sierra Madre? The casino exists. You are one of the few who look upon it. Where you're standing is the villa beneath the casino above. The wreckage. The villa lies in the shadow. The villa is a dumping ground of failed construction. Pre-war junk that has aged poorly.
I had other questions.
Ask.
How did I get here? You may ask yourself. Well, how did I get here?
I brought you here. There are mechanisms in place once the traps across the Mojave are sprung. For now, your sole focus should be the Sierra Madre and how to get inside. Until then, you won't leave alive.
Alright. So find the other 3 people with bomb collars, bring them back here.
I've downloaded the instructions and markers on your Pip-Boy, in case you forget. And yes, I have access to that device on your wrist. Get the other 3 here after that. I'll have more instructions for you. Do this, I'll let you go. I'll let all of you go.
How am I supposed to find them?
Your piece of Rocco trash will help you.
Yeah, he is ex-Brotherhood.
It can latch onto the signal of the collars and tune into their frequencies. The bomb collars come with radios embedded in them. You can eavesdrop easily. It was part of their design to listen in. They can even screen out white noise from the environment to allow greater monitoring.
Who are these people I'm gathering?
One is a trusted ally. Obedient, caller or no, although the caller helps. The other 2, well, we'll have to see what the traps got.
Any suggestions on who I should get first?
Yes. Caller 8, the FEV reject, the super mutant. He's docile, predictable, and provided he's not starving, should be easy to command. I lost contact with him some time ago. Probably after he dragged you here from the trap. Find him. He'll follow you, caller or no.
What's FEV?
A long story. FEV, a virus, is an even longer story. It gave birth to the docile one, turned them into a super mutant long ago.
That's all I needed to know.
Good. If necessary, I will guide you through the villa's broadcast systems. If you get lost, return here, and I'll direct you. I've downloaded instructions on an audio log to your Pip-Boy in case you can't read. If you forget why you're here, let my voice remind you.
Alright. So this is dead money. I like the ending of this DLC. I like the fact that it happened, but this will wind up being the bane of my existence before the end. But we're going to want to grab every one of those Sierra Madre chips we can find. I can tell you that right
That's the way out after you break into the Sierra Madre's vault. Try to leave. I'll set off your caller.
But I'm also going to grab the trash in this one as much as I can right away, because this is an unusual looking crafting station. As you approach, lines of tiny holographic items appear on the dispensing tray. Wireframe schematics and lists of consumables the machine can assemble and package for the consumer. There is a slot in the side with the Sierra Madre symbol. The slot does not look part of the original design. Okay, so I guess I don't need all the junk, but yes, we can sell things back to this, including cartons of cigarettes and packs of cigarettes to get more chips. But this will, for now, it looks like it's just got aid recipes here. But if we, because that's why I said we're going to pick up the chips, because this is going to be the only way we get supplies, except if we are, unless we find stuff. So, yes, this DLC is going to be the bane of my existence. Well, we'll grab one of the cards for Caravan, because at some point we're going to play the vanilla game again. Once we're completely overpowered from all this DLC. And I am going to be utilizing quick save a lot. I'm going to be abusing quick save in this. That I can tell you. And it is absolutely going to be necessary. Magazine, in case we wind up having a fight. Another vending machine, which yes, now we can get all kinds of stuff out of this. Yes, that is Father Elijah. He's actually from the Brotherhood chapter that's under Hidden Valley in this game. So, what do we have marked as active quest? So that's the way out. That is the way... No, that is the way out. That is the way up. So that's going to be our end goal, is to come up here. To the Sierra Madre itself. But we can't get there yet, and that's not even going to be the end of our adventure once we get up there.
Escape to the Sierra Madre is sealed, locked, for now. Do as I say, and it won't be locked for much longer.
Alright, so they want us to go and find Dog first. Collar 8. Which is actually not a bad plan to do first. The medical district. I don't believe that is where I want to go. Treasure's mine, assholes. This whole place is kind of interesting how it's laid out, and there's treasure everywhere. And this is going to be, once again, one of those things where you are going to want to pick up everything. Loot everything, pick up everything. You can find a way to turn it in for chips. It's not caps in this one. Ammo. For a gun we don't have, but ammo nonetheless. And every piece of ammo that you get in this DLC is going to count. As well as anything that you can use to reload. Sure would be nice if that shotgun was somebody. laser pistol with no ammo to go with it. There we go. Drop down. Some more graffiti here, and another garbage can. Find me and we can talk. Yeah, we got the nice bomb collar on. You don't even know how bad this is going to be. You're going to come to a point where you're going to look around and... Well, I'm going to look around and say, where the fuck is that radio? Stimpack, yes please. This early in the DLC? Yes, please. I don't know how much of this I can actually use, but I'm going to take a bunch of it.
Watch out for the villa inhabitants. They're difficult to kill unless you chop them apart. If you can, blow them up or disintegrate them.
You can. Now, see, the reason that he said, and once again, this is what he said there was to take care with the residents is because they, if you don't cut off their limbs after you down them, they will get right back up and come back after you. I get back to bed. See you guys. Have a good night, John. Have a good rest. I don't think I'm going to be too much further because I'm still adjusting to the time change here, and of course there's contemporary in the morning. So got some ammo. Oh, another chip I forgot. The casino is the Dead Man's Collar. Activate hologram. See, I can't talk to that one. Oh, it's just a tin can. I don't have the perk to break that down to scrap metal yet. Ow! Well, that's lame. Now I can't sleep it off either because there are jackasses around. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do off the hot plate throughout this DLC, but we will try. I'm determined to not let myself get screwed over as royally as I did the last time I played. And also, just like the just like the proton axes in the last DLC, we are absolutely going to try and use the throwing spears to fix the regular spears, spears rather. We have to go through Cloud to get it too. What I am gonna do so this is the Cloud he was talking about, and we get a few seconds that we can be in there without dying. And yeah, it takes a chunk out of our health. Especially in the beginning like this. Look at that. See chips. I want the meat off of you. A little weird going from point 2 where I was absolutely overpowered, absolutely OP, to going to a point where like anything around me is gonna fucking kill me. Lame. Okay, there we go. Now I've got it marked. I never used that function before, but I'm going to want to come back to that once I have some bobby pins. Take that. DT nothing. DT 15, yes please. Absolutely take that. Come on. There it is. Of course, they all have to be hard locks too, so even though I could pretty normally go after them. This trap works both ways. But I can't get in there because I don't have a lockpick. I could probably save scum it. But I'm better than that. I have no idea what's ringing. We are going to encounter...
Speakers and radios interfere with the bomb caller frequency and can trigger the detonators prematurely.
That for the first
It is an
time.
unfortunate side effect, one I did not anticipate. I was unable to calibrate the callers to block the signals. So, you'll have to make do.
So it's not that one. Oh, it is that one. Okay. So we've got that one off. This I don't need a lockpick for. Alright. Disengage contraband room lock. Yes, because I have no lockpicks. Prohibited items. Sinclair's prohibition list is going to be difficult to enforce, and told him so. He claims we're getting an automated system that would confiscate items, even the slightest bit radioactive or foreign, and ship them back to the visitor's source address. Asked about the items already in the villa, didn't mention the construction crew, and he dismissed it. Of course, no sooner than Sinclair gives his prohibition speech, his pal swings by the same hour, asking how hard-nosed we were going to be. Told me he couldn't guarantee he could keep me supplied if I didn't treat his friends with the same respect. Prick. Security system installation. Sinclair installed a new security system for visitors coming into and out of the villa. He doesn't seem to care too much about what they do when they're inside, only that we confiscate any personal items that could be dangerous or foreign, and make sure we know who enters and who leaves. Asked him again about watching the construction crews. He said that was a villa matter. Great, that means the prick runs the show. As long as there were no more accidents among the crews, that's what he cared about. Barely tucked my flask under the desk before he showed up. He gets that disapproving look when he sees the hard stuff. Alright, at least we're somewhat armed at this point. And I can up my perception a bit too. Browning automatic rifle.
Turn the noise off.
Super stim packs, yes please. Now we can get some new rounds at the automatic vending machine. And I don't do drugs, but it'd be nice to have them. And the opportunity to make drugs. We're gonna have to find a player home at some point here too.
Dog in the cage, hiding downstairs.
Sinclair visit. Sinclair did the rounds again today. Glad he left his ghostly entourage at the casino. Those walking light shows make me wonder why he's even got us on staff when they could blast us in a second. Otherwise, Sinclair runs a tight ship. Good to see in these days and times. Don't know how smart he is trying to make a resort to escape everything in the outside world, but rich guys can make it happen. Even ones that have been hit hard like Sinclair has. I'm going to call it soon after this. I don't know if we're going to get dog out yet tonight, but I am starting to lose my stamina here. Holding cell. Nothing much to report. Pretty quiet tonight, even from Puesta del Sol. Imagine Morris up at the casino probably has more than enough with the guests coming in tonight, poor bastards. Set up the radio so I can listen in on the gala event when it fires up, and left one out for the prisoners. If Sinclair doesn't want us to be too strict with the guests tonight, I may just toss the key in the holding cage with anyone we pick up and let them unlock the door when they sleep it off. Communications. Set up the radio room downstairs to broadcast through the speakers. Don't want to miss tonight's performance. The receiver down there is stronger than the desk radios we have up here. Stash some supplies from the evidence room down there to celebrate once my shift is over. Way I figure it, the rest of the guards will be too busy to check up on me. But right now, we have 2 of these in. Actually, I'm gonna repair that one and take it from there. There's a Dean Domino hand, which means he's got a secret stash. Yes! Bobby pins. Absolutely yes.
He's watching, waiting for you to try and let me go.
Yes. Inventory. Got the weapons and the mines in today, along with the shotguns and the ammo, enough to defend the villa if trouble breaks out. Sinclair's taking the world situation seriously, even all the way out here, maybe more so because we're out here. Hate to think if somebody got their hands on half the stuff we have stored here, enough military ordnance here to turn the villa into a minefield. Oops, we had one more. Dispenser report. Dispensers are up and running. Unlike most everything else, we've had a few problems with them. I heard they've been part of some World's Fair exhibits Sinclair had seen, so we contacted the researchers about the dispensers to see if he could use them here. Turns out dispensers do more than supply convenience item. If there's an emergency or the threat of communist attacks, codes can unlock ammo and repair kits for the dispensers. Stored backups of the codes in the contraband room just in case. That is all going to come in majorly handy.
Dog hurts.
Next thing I'm going to do is see if I can improve the quality of the armor. Yes, I can. Give us a DT at 16. That's not going to help us much, but help us along the way somewhat.
I'll be good this time, I promise. Master, just keep him away. I'll be good this time. I promise, Master. Just keep him away.
3 away rounds. Yes, please. Alright, so there's going to be another radio. bit of that. I'll hold off on the rest of these for now. Yeah, just like when we started off in Honest Hearts, anytime that we don't have to use stim packs, it's going to be really helpful.
This time, I promise, Master. Just keep him away.
Alright, so our next trek is going to be through there, because we went through all that direction. And Doug is locked in there with the key.
Hurt keeps him away. So hungry.
There it is. Shut that up.
I'll be good this time. I promise, Master. Just keep him away. I'll be good this time. I promise, Master. Just keep him away. This time, I promise, Master. Just keep him away.
I scratched on the villa walls. A little farther. Follow my voice. That's it. The one in the cage? Dog. I had to lock him up. He keeps disobeying me.
Vending machine installation. Oversaw the street side vending machines installation today, all working, mostly because the casino crew was running the show. Finally complained to the chief about the machines. They feel like a company store. We only get a few casino chips with the paycheck, so we can barely buy anything. Chief says he's not sure the chips were Sinclair's idea, only if we had any problems with the machines to let him know immediately. Search and seizure. After another discussion with the Puesta del Sol crew, told the chief it'd be difficult to enforce the prohibition list, let alone the searches. Chiefs had the gala on his brain, said Sinclair put the construction of the villa more important than patting down the construction crews for liquor and chems, as long as they didn't hurt anyone or each other. Got a little hot under the collar. Chief did too, told me to walk it off. This whole thing stinks. Chief's barely got time for me. Now Sinclair's turning a blind eye to things in the villa because his friend's running the show. Hold off on the liquor for a little while yet, too. It's totally the vault music from Fallout 2.
That's me, there on the table. The disc. My voice. Can't take any chances, though. You may be some victim who simply stumbled down here. If so, can't let you let Dog out. No, not yet. If you're who I think you are, you came to fetch Dog. Use him to drag others here. Now I'll use you. And that Pip-Boy you're wearing. You're smart, clever. The key to Dog's cage is simple. Take my voice to the cage above. Let me speak to the beast inside. Then you and I, we can talk.
And I think I'm gonna do that, and I think we're gonna call it a night. Because with the speech and the stock market right now, we've got plenty to talk about in the morning.
Mister, help me. Master, help me. Please.
Okay, where is there still a radio? Thought I got rid of all those already. There you are, you sneaky bastard.
back in the cage.
What have we here? You weren't who I was expecting. I'm disappointed. Still, even if you aren't my intended guest, you take direction. Good. You can't have been an idiot to figure out how to release me from my cage. Or perhaps you are, with that leash on your arm, and the one around your neck. With our collars and manacles, why, we may as well be kin.
What happened to your voice?
I'm the voice of reason. I sleep sometimes. Down in the basement, in the cage. Now that I'm awake, Dog goes back in the cage. Dog knows I'm here, but can't do anything about it. I'm his conscience. Keep him tame, keep him from hurting us, doing foolish things. I've been trapped in here for some time. Then you come along and let me out. So, you opened my cage for a reason. Now, I want to know why.
In super mutants, brain damage is usually the result of prolonged stealth boy usage. We'll pass
That's the
check
easy
there.
explanation. The one humans use. Pre-war technology. As if it's the cause of all ills, mind and body. I needed to come out of the cage to protect Dog. From clever humans. Like you. Do you see these wounds of his, covering his skin? The bear trap on his arm. He placed his own hand in it. The name he carved in his chest. To remind him of who he is, he inflicts pain on himself to silence me, when all I try to do... He cuts, hurts, and tries to murder me out of him. He won't succeed. Just makes me angrier. Dog is the beast. We simply change cages. Like the ones here.
I'm looking for someone with a collar like mine. Where's your collar?
It's close. Closer than I'd like. Dog's been into things. Needs to think before he eats. Chew before he swallows. He's eager that way. Now the collar's a part of me. Inside. I can feel its electronic heartbeat. Clicking and burning down below. Like before. It was cold and heavy before going in the cage. Now you're here, and it's pulling and kicking again. Tugging like a leash. Interesting.
If that collar inside you's active, I didn't switch it on.
Really? Yet it led you here, to me. And now you're here, and it's burning a hole in my guts. Maybe it's crying for its owner.
How the hell did you, or whoever, eat one of those collars?
They detach. When segmented, they look like nothing more than metallic rad scorpions. And if they're attached to neck flesh, warm, red. Dog doesn't care what's on the body he's crushing in his hands. He'll mangle it, twist it, make it fit until he's full. Dog can't help himself. Hungry, greedy. And now the collar's inside, alive again. And we're trapped here until it goes cold.
Maybe you shouldn't go around shoving old world tech in your stomach.
As if I had a choice. Sometimes instinct takes over, and that's when I go into the cage. It's like curiosity that way. After all, you wouldn't have put that collar on by choice. Perhaps it was your curiosity that caused that hand to close on your neck.
Forget it. I had other questions.
Of course you do. And so do I.
You wouldn't have locked yourself in there without some sort of key to let you out.
The key? Why, it's the old man, the one who brought us here. I hid the key on me so Dog wouldn't know. I just need the old man to show up, so he and I can talk. If Dog was in control when the old man appeared, well, he would just do whatever he commanded, as always. And I can't have that.
You have the key in there. The old man can order Dog to open the cage.
Dog obeys, yes. Why? Do you have some means of contacting the old man?
I can play his voice, yes. I have an audio log from him on my Pip-Boy.
You don't play it. If you do, I'll find a way to get out of the cage, end you. I'll murder you, crush your arms and legs until...
Goodbye, whoever you are. I'm gonna let Dog out of his cage.
No, don't! I'll make you suffer for this, I promise you! Although it may not matter. I suspect the Sierra Madre will be reward enough for ones like you.
Play Elijah audio tape.
Master, the Dog not hear you come in. Too hungry now. At cage door. Master, Dog is listening now you are close, and he can hear you over hunger.
Now that you're awake, Master wants you to listen, Dog.
Master, Dog is here. What does Master want?
Dog, hidden on you is a key. Find it and toss it to me.
Dog doesn't have a... Here it is. Dog didn't know it was there. How did it get there?
Just give me the key. You want out of the cage, don't you?
Yes, Master. Master sounds different, quieter. Master, Dog doesn't want to be in the cage anymore. Dog will be good this time. Dog promises.
Fine, let's go. Follow me.
Yes, Master. Dog waited a long time. Brought you many people. Dog will follow.
Dog has given you the benefit of his ravenous hunger. Ghost people are difficult to kill unless dismembered or disintegrated. If Dog is in the party, however, Dog will devour them, preventing them from getting back up. This is, I didn't do this perk the last time, so...
They're in here, not her chest.
Alright, so apparently I'm never going to get strong back. Or I've got 20 levels to get my endurance back. I don't. Why is my endurance at 4? Still don't understand. You're just so excited about plasma that you can't magnetically contain yourself. The AP costs for all plasma weapons, including plasma grenades, are reduced by 20%. That might be something to come up here. I want to see if there is something that lets me have another special. Alright, 2 points up and then I'll get strong back again. Or 2 levels up and I'll get strong back again.
Inside's growling.
But I think we're going to call it there. So let's get a hard save in. And we'll jump out there. So, that was the end of Old World Blues. It was hilarious. I'm sorry that Midget B didn't get there to see the end, but he's going to enjoy the ending all on his own, and I'm happy that he's going to have the opportunity to enjoy that here. And we will be back here tomorrow. I hope I am up and in time to do this, because there's so much to talk about. This day just gave us so much. And we'll be back here tomorrow to talk about all of it again. So, as we always say on this show, never take the words of bloggers, podcasters, or journalists as gospel. Find all the facts and draw your own conclusions. Make sure you check us out live streamed on all of the platforms for Contemporary in the morning. Or you can check it back out on BitChute.com or over on the audio platforms as well. Until then, I am Jay Edgar for Ed's World Gaming. Thank you for joining me.